Hello, AACPS teachers. In this short video, we're going to see how to share a template created in Google Sites for student portfolios. So here I am in the editing mode of Google Sites, and I have put together a quick template for my students. And this template is composed of several different pages where I would like them to put their work. So right now we're here on the home page, and the home page is going to have the student's name at the top, and then underneath it's going to have a table of contents to allow someone to easily navigate through the different pages in the portfolio. So those pages will include an All About Me area where the student can tell something about themselves this year, the goals that they have for themselves for this year. Then we're going to have a page for an artifact from marking period 1, one for marking period 2, marking period 3, and marking period 4. You could switch it to semesters. You could switch it to one for each unit. It's entirely up to you when you're creating this, how many artifacts you want the students to include and how many pages you want. And then finally, we've got a page here for the student to reflect in some way. Things like, what was your favorite project that you did this year and why, and what would you have done differently? Just general reflection about how the year went and how they feel about the different things that they created throughout the year. So we can either click on these buttons down here, or over on the right hand side where we have the pages, we can click to go through these over here as well. I do want to start with this page area over here on the right hand side, because there is one page that is currently included in the portfolio that is not in the table of contents. And the reason it's not in the table of contents is because it is instructions for the students on how to add content to their portfolio. And so ultimately, we're going to ask them to delete this page before publishing their site and making it live. So we'll start by clicking on that page. So this page has that reminder at the very top. Once your portfolio is complete, make sure you delete this. And then just for good measure, we added that same reminder down there at the bottom. And then throughout the center here, we've got several tips for the students, things that they can choose to change about their site, like changing the theme of it, adding a custom personal banner to the top, and adding additional features like changing the layout, adding things like collapsible text, image carousels, buttons, dividers, anything that they want that can truly personalize their portfolio while keeping in mind that it's really about the content. A very important note there in the middle to make sure that any files added to this site are shared. So if I put a file on the site, whether I link to it or whether I embed it, if I have not shared that file, meaning changed the permissions so that other people can view it, when people get access to my site, they won't have access to those files. So a very important little tip there that I would not only cover out loud and demonstrate to the students, but keep that here on the How to Build Your Site page. Then some information there about after they've published it, how to get the link to share with the teacher, and also a note there that even if they publish their site, they can continue to make changes to it as long as they click publish anytime they make those changes. So now if we take a look at some of the other pages, you'll see that we basically left it as a blank canvas for the students. Some instructions here at the very top: add an image, a paragraph to tell people a little bit about yourself, and then of course don't forget to delete this sentence because it's not needed once you get the entire site done. So that is pretty much the layout for the remainder of these pages, is just a little bit of directions there at the very top, and then, as I said, largely a blank canvas for the students to add whatever they would like to their portfolio. So how am I going to take this template and give it to my students? So we're going to go to Google Classroom to do that. I'm going to create a new assignment. So I'm going to click on Classwork and choose Create Assignment, and I'll type in my title and my instructions for my student. Okay, so I now have my title and some instructions to my students for how they're going to make a copy of this file, and additional instructions that say don't turn it in until the end of the year, because this will be a year-long project for my students. So now I'm going to go to Add, and first I'm going to show you guys what we're not going to do and explain the reason why. So what I'm not going to do is go to Google Drive, find the site, and click to insert it. And the reason why is because it only gives me two choices here. It gives me the choice to set the file to view only for my students or make it so that the students can edit the file. Now, if I choose that first option to make it view only, they can view my published site, but there is nowhere in the published site for them to make a copy of it. If I choose students can edit the file, they will be able to make a copy of it, but because everybody will have editing permission on that site before they make a copy, there is a pretty big risk that somebody is going to do something on that site that will change it for other people when they go to make a copy. For example, somebody might delete a page, somebody might forget to make a copy and start adding their own content to the site, and then everybody who clicks to make a copy after that is now copying the site that someone else has started editing. So if I can avoid giving everybody editing permissions, I definitely want to do that because it's just going to save us all from getting the wrong information copied and me from having to go back in and fix it over and over and over again. You'll notice what's missing here, if I go to give my students a site, is I don't have that third option to make a copy for each student. And because I don't have that option that I would really ideally like to use, I am not going to use this at all. I am not going to give it to them as an attachment. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to click to delete this attachment. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to Google Drive, and where I have this site, so here I have a folder that I just created a moment ago, and I just named it View Only Folder. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new folder, and then you're going to select that folder, and you're going to go up to your link option in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to change the permissions on this folder to anyone with the link can view. So see, now it says anyone with the link, and then over here on the right, it says their permission is to view. And I'm going to copy this link and then click done. Now, the other thing that's really important is I want to take this portfolio template that I created and I want to move it into that folder. So what I've done here is I've put the website into a folder with view only permissions, and I got a view only link to that folder. Now I'm going to go back to Classroom where I'm creating the assignment. I'm going to choose Add, and instead of just grabbing the file from Google Drive, I'm going to put in the link to that folder. So I'm going to paste that in right there and click Add Link. Now over here on the right, because this is going to be a year-long project, I'll set it to ungraded. I'm going to leave it for no due date, and I'm going to click Assign. Now I want to show you what this is going to look like for a student who's in my class. So I'm going to open up a student's view of this exact class. And you can see right here we have that portfolio assignment. And when the student clicks to open the assignment all the way, what they see is a link to that folder. So they click to open the link to the folder. Inside, they have the website. If they click to open the website, it opens a view only, a published view of the website, and there is no place here for this student to make a copy of it. So they actually don't need to open the file at all. What they want to do right here where they see it in this folder that was shared with them, they want to right click on it and choose Make a Copy. And now that copy is going to go to My Drive. Right here under Copy of Master Portfolio, and this is now my copy of this website that I can edit. So I have the original template given to me by my teacher, but nobody else can work in this. I don't have to worry about any of my classmates being in here adding their information. So I hope this little trick of getting a view-only link to a folder has helped you discover the best way to share a template for a student portfolio created in Google Sites.